Big plans for the new year? Squarespace makes it easy to turn your idea into a unique website. Showcase your work, blog, or publish content, even sell products and services of all kinds in just a few clicks. You can customize everything from look and feel to settings and products using beautiful templates created by world-class designers. And there's nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code PFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I'm talking over the music. Or is the music playing under me? It's one of those riddles. Riddles. They're as old as the Sphinx. The Sphinx, of course, was a lion thing with a human head. It asked you a riddle because you wanted to get somewhere. Look, I remember what the riddle was. I don't remember what the point of it was. Why was the Sphinx giving out riddles? And did it only have that one riddle? And really only one person solved it? Is that the story? There's too many mythologies, guys. And we should have consolidated them all into one a while ago. So it's just the story of, you know what I mean? Do we need Jason and the Argonauts when we have Lord of the Rings? Whew, that was a close one. It was a real nosedive, but I feel like I pulled it out at the very last second. Hey, I'm still mad that they made The Hobbit into 3 movies. I mean, no one needs me to relitigate that. But when I saw that movie, I saw the first Hobbit movie, and I was so excited because I loved that book when I was a kid. I thought this will be fun, light, entertaining film. Went to the movies. It was so long, I briefly fell asleep. When then it ended, and it was essentially like a to be continued. And I, in the theater, said out loud, "What the fuck? How were the other books a movie each? One movie per book. Then this book, which was shorter than the other ones, is somehow 3 movies long. Guys, it was a money grab. I feel like I can unseal these records now and say, however many years later, that the Hobbit trilogy was a money grab. I'm calling you out, Peter Jackson. You know what you did. You think you can hide on the underside of the world? I'll find you and I'll make you pay for your crimes. The amount you will pay is my ticket price. That's right. And I want it in American money. Don't give me New Zealand money. And then I get boned on the exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spontaneanation with Paul F. Tompkins. I am the second part. This is a show where I invite a special guest onto the program to have a free-form conversation with me inspired by a blind question from our previous episode's guest. Then I invite some improviser pals onto the program to join me in a narrative improv that is one continuous story as opposed to unconnected scenes. And it is all scored on piano by Mr. Eban Schletter. That's what he goes like. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to have this guest on the show. We've been trying to make our schedules line up for a long time, and it wasn't easy because life isn't easy. But it finally happened. You'll recognize this person from, say, the TV show Workaholics. Other things. Sometimes I like to consult with the guest beforehand to see what they mentioned in the intro. This was not one of those times. I forgot to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the Spontanean Agent, the very gracious, I'm assuming, Maribeth Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maribeth, thank you for
much.
being here.
Thank you for having me on. I'm graciously happy to be here.
Do you have things that you want to promote right out of the gate?
Now it feels gross, though. It just feels gross.
But the grossness is still on me.
Okay. You hit the biggest one. I mean, you hit the biggest, biggest highlight of my career. You nailed it.
It looms large in the pop culture landscape. Maribeth, thank you so much for being here. I haven't seen you since the Detroit Improv Festival. We got to do your show Mama's Boy together. It was so much fun.
Thank you.
Such a great time, and I'm so glad that you're here now. Thank you for being here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
I think we're going to have fun.
I can guarantee it.
There's something in the air.
PFT, I'm all about it.
Oh, double M. Here we go. I have a question for you, Maribeth.
I know. I'm excited about it.
Are you excited about it?
I am. I'm excited.
Here we go. This comes to us from our previous episode's guest. What is your most embarrassing superstition? What is your most embarrassing? First of all, are you a superstitious person?
I am not particularly a superstitious person. I think maybe when I was younger, I was more superstitious, but now I'm not that superstitious. There's a lot going on right now in the studio. Did we just get robbed? I don't know.
No, I think the person that came in just got robbed. Here's what happened. Eban Schletter arriving a little late. We moved, the time moved around.
Sure.
So that was Eban Schletter coming in the door with his whole rig to set up. And then I think he got a phone call, and then he took everything out of the room with him. And it really looked like he was late for a flight.
He's loudly polite. Is what he is. He's loudly
That's right.
courteous.
He's polite out loud. Are you a person of ritual? Do you have things that you have to do like before a show or before you travel?
Sure.
Or whatever?
I think before a show, we always, this goes back to Second City Detroit traditions of always saying, I got your back, and tapping the fellow improvisers on the back. Drinking used to be a big ritual
Sure.
before shows, especially in Second City, Chicago. But yeah, I feel like I'm no-butting this question, but I'm not necessarily the most superstitious person in the world, but I do remember as a little kid being kind of obsessed for a time with stepping on a crack, like breaking your mother's back.
Yeah.
Like and I will couple that with my brothers scaring me to death by saying if I swallowed a watermelon seed, I would, in fact, grow a watermelon in my belly. And I was very obsessed with that for a while, too.
Absolutely.
And they actually pointed to a pregnant woman at the time and reinforced that idea that was someone who was growing a watermelon. So that was pretty scary.
That's brilliant.
But yeah, that's probably the only time I can really remember being overly obsessed, probably like from the age of like 6 to 8 of like not stepping on cracks like religiously.
What are your rituals that if you don't get a chance to do them, it will bother you?
Well, do morning routines count?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because I'm weirdly, I think, a bit OCD in like how like my showers are literally all the same. And if they're not the same, my whole day is really ruined. Like in the order of like, I do this first and then I shave and then I wash my hair and then I do the body wash. And then it's like, and I feel like if like my razor from traveling's in my bag and like I'm rushing and I can't do it, I'm like, well, this day's in the toilet, See,
I think that is modern superstition. I think that because it's the same kind of thing of it's throwing off the order of things. There's something like you have the sense that something bad will happen.
Yes.
If I don't get to do this thing the way it's quote supposed to be done, that's going to affect things negatively somehow.
I think you're right. And I think, too, because we're both in the comedy world, the improv world, and auditioning, and all these things that are so out of your control, I think, as far as being an actor or being in this industry, that I do think it heightens other rituals, like as minute as a shower situation, or like you said, traveling, or being on time for things. I think I'm very overly early because I feel like it's all going to go to hell if I'm late. A lot of pressure on myself. So yeah, I think just because of the industry I'm in and the career that we're in, I do think it's like the little things I can have control of or set or make standard, ritualistic. Yeah, I probably do embrace that a lot more than I've ever thought about it until now.
When you are late, how do you react?
Flop sweat. flop sweat, mild panic, a lot of apologies.
Like 5 minutes
Oh
late?
yeah, I hate it.
Even then?
I hate it. And it's like, and I think that is that self-deprecating too kind of quality I think I have to overcome in myself, of like beating myself up over little things like that, not being able to let things go, putting too much pressure on myself over things that I'm like, this was easily remedied. I know what LA traffic's like. I could have left 10 minutes early. So yeah, I think it's a lot of weird little pressure, you know? Because I think too, going to an audition, like you have to like, especially, you know, in the sense of being late or driving somewhere, it's like, you know, you spend all this time preparing for this audition, and when you're in the room, the illusion has to be that no matter what has happened prior walking into this room, like, I am a goddamn delight, and I am wonderful to work with, and look how much fun we're having.
Right.
And I think the pressure of that, of kind of having that energy translate into auditions and translate into my career, it's like, I think when I don't know how to describe it, but I think there's like a weird, I have to save all that kind of energy and focus for that time, as opposed, and then when I'm not in that space, it's kind of like, I need some control, I need some control. You know what I mean?
What were some of the other things that your brother would do to you when you were a kid?
Oh my God. Here
Did
we
he
go.
tease you a lot? Did he?
I have 3 older brothers.
Oh, boy.
And I'm the youngest of 4.
Oh,
yes.
boy.
So I was told, you know, hey, want to go sledding and it's not winter? And I was shoved into a pillowcase and pushed down the stairs. During winter, I was buried. Want to go sledding. And then it was just laugh at the little sister almost breaking her ankle. I was buried up to my neck in snow on the opposite side of our above ground pool because we were classy, and they like buried me there, and then I literally was out there for like a half hour. My mom couldn't find me. It was like mild abuse.
Were you
know?
just like screaming your head off?
Oh, I was screaming, and it was just like the biggest mound. It was just an igloo house on top of me as I'm yelling. Yeah, there's many situations. My fabulous, and I literally felt like I had 4 dads growing up. So like bringing a guy home was like a nightmare. I mean, I just stopped doing it.
Right.
I just started skirting around, you know, secretively.
Skirting around.
Just skirting around.
Not familiar with that term.
Skirtlessing around, more like it. No,
right? You were nude.
I was pretty much nude. But yeah, no, it was a lot of this will be fun, and then it was just
Now, were your
terrible.
brothers? They were protective of you with guys, or
Yes.
they looked at it as an opportunity to give you a further hard time?
Oh, both. You know, album growing up as a child was brought out, every terrible picture. And I had that rough period from like, I'd say maybe 3rd grade to like 6th grade, where it was like big Coke bottle glasses, permed hair, kind of that androgynous time of like, you know, a friend of mine once looked at a picture from that time and said, "Oh, sweetheart, you could have gone either way. You could have gone either way.
Either way.
In life," and luckily you went down another road, but all those pictures would come out. All those pictures would come out every. So I just stopped doing it. I would just literally secretly date in high school. Yeah.
Did you go to the same school as your brothers?
No, I was the only. All of my brothers started off in private Lutheran high schools. I went to private Lutheran school, kindergarten to 8th grade, and I was the only person who had the good sense to go to public school and like learn about life. But one of my brothers did go to a private school and then ended up going to a public school eventually. But yeah, none of us went to the same school, thank goodness. And I think honestly, all of these experiences I'm sharing with you lent itself to that situation.
Of course, yes, absolutely. I remember my younger brother and I were pals. We would play together a lot. And then once I got to high school, well, really once he got to high school, because he was a freshman when I was a senior, then it was like not cool to hang out with.
He wanted nothing to do with
he
you.
established his own life. God love him.
Yes.
Did your family go to church?
Yes.
Every Sunday?
Oh, beyond that. I went to church every Sunday. I had probably about 3 religion-based classes a week.
3?
I had catechism.
In the school or outside of the school?
In the school. And then in the church that was connected to the school, I went to catechism classes.
I didn't know
and
that
then I had to
Lutherans
go.
had to do that.
Oh yeah. And then but we do it in 8th grade. So I think Catholics do it in the 2nd grade. And then we do it much later, I believe.
I can't remember.
And I never experienced it. All I was ever told weirdly about the difference between Lutherans and Catholics is transubstantiation.
Right. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. It is the body of Christ,
That's
or
right.
it's a symbol of the body of
That's
Christ.
right.
Very divisive.
As a
Very
kid,
divisive.
I remember as a kid, because I grew up Catholic and went to Catholic school.
Okay.
And I remember being astonished when I found out as an adult, because I think in my mind, I couldn't make it that this is actually what they believed, right?
About transubstantiation.
Transubstantiation at the moment of the Holy Eucharist, that the bread and the wine actually do become the body and blood of Jesus Christ. And even as a kid, I was like, well, that's like a metaphor, And then
You should have come to my school, my church.
I really should have gone Lutheran. Well, I could have gone either way. And then when I found out, like after I wasn't religious anymore, that I was like, no, that's literal. I couldn't believe it. Like my mind would not accept that even as a child.
I remember having emphatic pastors going, "Can you believe it?" I mean, just like really instilling on us, like, "Look at these idiots over here."
Would they really do this?
I mean, definitely not saying idiots. He is a pastor, for Pete's sake, but it would definitely be like, these Catholics. I mean, we got it right. Thanks, Martin Luther.
This is some great religious gossip.
Yeah, and it's fascinating. Martin Luther. You probably know this, like the whole indulgence thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that was where the Lutheran Church came out of, and a lot of people say divorce, wanting divorce.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are like the three biggies that separate Catholicism and Lutherans.
Indulgences is the Catholic thing, right? Where it's like you can buy your relatives out of purgatory.
Can you still do that?
I don't think so. I do not believe that is practiced anymore. They also got rid of limbo finally.
Oh, that's right.
Limbo is where the unbaptized babies would end up because
very sad.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would God be like, sorry, rules are rules, babies?
And think about, I always imagine that, like, because we'd learn about the other denominations growing up.
See,
and
we
I just feel
wouldn't.
like, I imagine this creepy little fog-filled, like, void of just ghost babies flying at you.
That's exactly how I imagine it.
Not that we would ever see it, because we're not non-baptized babies, so we'd never actually see it. But in visualizing it was the scariest place to me. Purgatory, too, just... What's up with them?
Yeah, purgatory for the longest time I thought was a kind of waiting room, and you had to stay there until you could go to heaven. And then finding out much later, no, it's like a hell, and you pay for your sins there, but it's not forever. Then you go to heaven. So, whatever, like how many times you lied to your mom or stole a candy bar.
So it's like karma based.
Yeah, kind of. It's like truly evil people would go to hell. And then like the rank and file, just regular people would go to purgatory first, where it's like everything anytime you ever masturbated or whatever, you had to pay for all of that and then go to heaven. And that's where indulgences came in, because you could buy, it was like a fast pass
out of purgatory.
Yeah. So if your mom died and you gave the church money, they'd be like, oh, good news. Like, how?
How do they even know? Like,
I think the idea was, you give us this money, we will pray, because it's all the intercessionary prayer.
Right.
Like you would pray to somebody.
Okay.
Please, St. Anthony, will you please tell God?
And he had a direct line to St. Anthony, whoever was selling you this indulgence.
I mean, more so than you did.
Of
This is like a
obviously.
cardinal or something.
Right.
Obviously carries a lot of weight with the saints, who then they go to God, and then God is like, all right.
I feel like we're like describing the season 3 of The Good Place. It's coming up.
No spoilers, guys. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. Maribeth Monroe, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Where can people find you, should they wish to find you, and should you wish to be found?
As far as like social media and whatnot, well, I am at Maribeth Monroe with an I on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, and I'm terrible at everything else. So that's about it. Terrible at Instagram. You can follow me. I gotta get better. I just have a terrible social media game. I'm like 20 years behind. Not that it's been around that long, but it feels that way. I'm just still a fan of Facebook. I'm holding the torch.
Still a fan.
I am holding the torch for Facebook, and I don't know why. I'll evolve.
To each his own. Then why bother? It's all, look, everything's almost over.
There you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, you will meet our improvisers. Listen to the ad. That was some crashing. Breaking into comedy. It's messy. It's hard. It's intense. It's the subject of the HBO comedy series Crashing. That's why I made that sound effect earlier. I hope you didn't turn around and think that something had fallen in your kitchen and can't get up. Your grandma. Crashing. It's a TV show. Oh my God. They're coming to get me. Okay. I got to get this ad out real quick before. Okay. They seem to be passing. Okay, good. All right. Anyway, Crashing, it's a TV show. It's on HBO. HBO stands for Home Box Office. Crashing is the title of the show. It's not a thing that happens in the show, although colloquially he crashes on couches. Crashing stars comic Pete Holmes and is executive produced by Judd Apatow, and it shows a realistic and honest depiction. So it's realistic and honest. I wonder if it's true to life. A depiction of starting out a comedy career in New York City. In season 1, we're on season 2 now. Season 1, Pete Holmes was broke. He was getting divorced. He was trying to navigate the world of stand-up comedy. And let me tell you something. He was having a hard time doing all of those things. He did not have a hard time getting divorced. That seemed to happen. That happened very quickly. In season 2, he's still all of those things. So maybe he's still going through the divorce. I can't watch every show. This year, Pete explores the alternative comedy scene. He dabbles in romance. Ooh la la. And expands his worldview. Guest appearances include comic stars Whitney Cummings, Bill Burr, Dave Attell, Jeff Ross, Jamie Lee, and if I'm not much mistaken, our old friend, Lauren Lapkus. Season 2 of Crashing premieres January 14th at 10:30 p.m. That's last night. All of season 1 is available for streaming on HBO. So my advice to you, get into it. Yeah! Ha-ha! Welcome back, everyone. It is time to meet our friends from the land of Make Pretends. Both returning. It's exciting to have them here at the same time. They're high-fiving each other. Ladies and gentlemen, seated directly across from me. Welcome back, Nancy Hayden.
Thank you.
Yeah!
Woo, hi, Paul.
Nancy, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
What's going on with you?
I mean, I'm here with, dare I say, some of my best friends
Right?
in the world.
Yay.
Yes.
These girls.
Right.
So not only do I have the pleasure of being here with you yet again, but I get to play with my ladies, with
Aw.
my girls. Does it get better than that?
It don't.
I don't think so.
To quote Brian Regan, I submit that it does not. Brothers, sisters,
I have a sister.
older, younger,
She is older, 4 years older than me. And
bullied.
we shared a room.
Oh, boy.
So I don't know that she bullied me so much as we fought
Right.
like cats and
Cats.
even meaner cats.
Was she the boss?
Oh yeah, she's
Right.
still the boss.
Is she really?
Absolutely. There's a story. Was it you or Denise? We were getting ready for my wedding and we were dress shopping, and she was saying, "Well, we're going to go to." I said, "Well, let's go to this store." No, we're not going to that one next. We're going to go do this. We're going to go do that. And da 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 da. Then she got up and left the table, and my friend looked at me and went, "I've never heard anyone talk to you like that." And I'm like, "That's what big sisters are for." But I wouldn't say, I was never buried in snowbanks or shoved down staircases.
Were you told lies about the human digestive system?
Yes. She gave me a wrong, I don't know if it wasn't a physical map, but I remember when I was starting middle school, she told me that pretty much everything was in the wrong place. I remember that.
On the human body.
No, in our school.
In the school.
That
Wait,
would
what?
have even been. Yeah.
What is happening right now?
Wait a minute.
So confused.
Did you go to the same school?
Well, I was 4 years behind her.
Okay.
So I was about to start middle school.
I see.
And she was going into high school. I was leaving 5th grade, and it was one of those, or about to start 6th grade, and it was one of those, let me do you a solid here. When you get there,
I draw you a map.
the cafeteria's over here, and the gym's over here, and then you go, and so I was wandering into wrong places for a week.
Following this for
Wow.
a week.
Yeah. She did that.
That's really psychologically brutal.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, snowbank.
Bruises heal. Bruises heal. Psychological scars. I don't know.
I remember it being kind of a, it was a funny little.
At the time, did you find it funny?
No, I was probably furious. But she could always get me with this one, and everyone in this room is going to understand. Nancy, stop being so dramatic.
Oh.
Right? Because she's not an actor and she's not that person in any way.
right.
And I was an actor from the third grade, so she already knew that about me, and she knew that it was the way to push my button. So whenever I was upset about anything, she would tell me to stop being so dramatic, and that was probably the closest she ever came to bullying me.
What if you'd said, "Why don't you start getting dramatic?
Why don't you start being more dramatic?
Yeah, let's get this
Maybe.
drama. Start it."
Here's your script, Maggie.
And are you pals now?
We're best pals.
That's
now.
great.
Yeah,
That's great.
absolutely.
And did you follow her plan for the wedding dress shopping?
I don't remember. I think we did. Yeah, I think we went right down her path of how we were going to do things that day. You don't mess with my sister. These guys know her. She knows what she's talking about. She's just a take charge gal.
She is.
Everyone in my family always listens to her. My parents
Really?
always listen to her. Yeah, we always kind of had just a running joke about we would always kind of my brother and I would turn to each other and say Maggie's talking. Oh, we're scared of Maggie. Don't listen to Maggie's. Yeah, we're all a little afraid of Maggie.
Nancy, speaking of turning,
Yes.
I'm going to turn away from you
to this lovely
to look
lady.
right next to you.
What?
Seated kitty quarter for me. Meow.
Meow. Meow.
Making her second appearance on the show, Jaime Moyer is back.
Hello!
Jamie!
We did it!
Woo-woo! Jamie, let's get into it. Brothers, sisters, do you have them or what?
OC, baby.
Only
Only
child.
child.
Yep.
What a shock.
Was it? Was it the best? Was it the best?
You know, it really was. And I had a fun childhood, and I had a lot of adults around me who were very playful actors, and that was a lot of fun. But I do wish that I had a sibling.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said if I had a sibling, it would be awesome because then they would know what I know and have seen what I've seen. And then you don't have to tell
Yes.
all your stories, and nobody really wants to hear all your stories, and they just would have seen it.
Yeah.
And it was weird. It was a weird life, and it would have been fun to have someone who was like in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was okay. I had friends, and I could play by myself for hours.
Right.
And I liked to read, and I liked to play, and I had a big imagination. So but of course, I think the grass is always greener. I super wish I had a sibling.
Right.
I always wish there was one other weird motherfucker like me.
I have many brothers and sisters. I have 3 sisters, 2 brothers. And I think maybe when I was younger, I maybe idly wished to be an only child at some point. I don't know. But when I think about it now, I can't. I mean, it's so beyond my comprehension. I can't imagine what it would have been like.
Yeah.
And it's even where with my friends who are only children, I can't imagine that because you know what I mean? Because there's I just can't. There were so many people in the house all the time.
Yeah.
That I can't imagine what it was like.
Well, and honestly, and like we were saying, I got 2 right near me, but my friends are like my family because
Absolutely.
I was also a very small family, and I grew up in Detroit with my only blood relative being my mom, and and I only have like a total of 8 cousins or something on both sides combined.
Right.
So without my friends, I think I would be really very much in trouble. And honestly, when things start going south, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble because it's going to be, who's going to help me when things start getting rough in the later years? I'm just kind of like, man on an island over here. But thank God for my friends,
Yes, I was
honestly.
gonna say,
my friends are like my family. Honestly, my friends are the world to me, which is a beautiful life to lead. But I wish there was people around, someone like you probably can call your siblings and there's a language.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Unspoken.
Yeah.
And you can never not have them, even when there's a rift, at the end of the day, they're still your siblings.
Yes, absolutely.
Whereas your friends, you have a rift, it could be sayonara.
Yeah. So easy to walk away from friends.
The TV show
What a
and the people.
Truth.
What were the games you would play by yourself when you were a child?
Oh, well, first of all, I'd ride my bike all the time, and I would make up little stories. I like Nancy, was acting from... I actually was in a play when I was in my mother's womb. So she played a pregnant Zani, like Zanny, the little clowns in Commedia. And she gave birth to balloons that floated up. And I was in the womb, so it was super meta. So I would always write little plays. I would write little scenarios in my head. I would write actual stories. I loved dress up. I didn't have Barbies. My stuffed animals had names and like would put on little plays with each other.
That you were invited to?
I was the director, and I mean I was rough. I was really on them about hitting their marks and everything. So it was a lot of like creative-minded stuff, and I was in the Waldorf school system, so they push towards creativity.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
The Waldorf school system. It's really cool.
Waldorf.
Waldorf.
Felt like I needed
That's cool.
There aren't
salad.
there aren't that many around. There's not that many. I know there's one in Chicago. There's one in Michigan. There's one in Hawaii. But it's
When I hear Waldorf, all I think of are scarves and
it's like
textiles.
It's like that.
Discover your learning corner.
It's like that.
Exactly.
It's like that. Their whole thing is kill your TV. The kids, you write your own. You do calligraphy in books and illustrate your own textbooks. So by the end of a term, you have a textbook that you made, calligraphy lesson on the board. 5th grade, you're learning the Odyssey. Like the cover of my 5th grade Odyssey book was Achilles in battle, and someone else's could have been the horse. And
Right.
It was just very art-based, super crunchy granola-ish, right? And you learn to knit it's from kindergarten up, French and German from kindergarten up. A thing called eurythmy, which is the passing of rods.
Oh my God. Wow. You had me up till passing of the rods.
The passing of like metal rods across the room. Yeah.
What? That cleared nothing up.
That's very...
It's just
Actually said,
Let me
when you throw metal rods across the
It
room
was
at each
great.
It's
It was
eurythmy.
great, but
Oh,
I
forgive
still
me.
to this day can't do math. So figure it out. But I was
she's counting rods.
Yeah, it was really a fun school system as well. Like,
it sounds like it. It sounds great.
The creativity was affluent, and there was no mass. There was no religion.
It's easy if you try.
Yeah.
What were some of the names of your stuffed animals?
Oh God, I don't remember now.
No, you don't remember
Well, I
any?
know there was a mouse who had a suit on, and his first name was Mr. something. He had a suit on, and he was Mr. something.
He was Mr.
Was he the
Paul
lead
F.
in every play?
Mouse.
Well, yeah, the two mice were the leaders because the little mouse had a suit and his wife had a skirt, and they were like big players. In
They were the
play.
ingenues.
Yeah,
They were clearly the ingenues.
very sexy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to take a break. When we come back, we will reveal the location for our improv, and then we're going to do that improv. All this and nothing else when Spontaneanation returns. Support for today's show comes from Squarespace. Hey, welcome back, Squarespace. Squarespace has a question for you. I also would like to know the answer, though. Are you ready to start your new business? Why wait until the new year to set your plans in action? Yeah, don't wait till 2019. The future is coming. Make it brighter with Squarespace. Come on. But why? What's so great about Squarespace? Let me tell you. Shut up. It's got beautiful templates created by world-class designers. These are like designers that have tasted caviar and they don't think it's gross. Squarespace makes it easy to turn your idea into a new and unique website. That's a new and unique way of saying new and unique. Showcase your work, showcase your blog, publish content, even sell products and services of all kinds in just a few clicks. Certain businesses are legal now. I don't know what you can sell through the mail, but you can certainly let people know over the internet. You can customize everything on Squarespace, from the look and the feel to the settings and the products. By feel, they mean like the vibe of it. You can't touch anything. It's still websites. And it is all optimized for mobile right out the box. That means it's not going to look like garbage. You see it looks great on your desktop, and then you see it on your phone. You're like, this is what people see? No, they'll see the nice part. Use Squarespace's analytics to help you grow in real time. Your business, not you. You guys are very confused about what Squarespace is. There is nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. You will not have to call a plumber for this. Though if you do have a question, Squarespace's award-winning 24/7 customer support is there to help. Think about how bad customer support is. These people have won awards for it. It's got to be good. A dream is just a great idea that doesn't have a website yet, just like Jiminy Cricket sang to me. He's a bug that's very smart. Make it a reality with Squarespace. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code PFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That is squarespace.com, offer code PFT. Welcome back. Did you think I forgot about you? How foolish. You are precious in my sight. Ladies and gentlemen, we have received our location for our improv provided by our own Chef Kevin. And we're ready to do our improv. But first, just so you know, in order to aid us in our storytelling, we use 3 sound effects that move us about in space and time. Let's say we need to go into the past for some reason. Someone's having a memory. We're learning how something came to be. We use this flashback sound effect. Let's say we want to get back from the flashback. Got to get back in time. Back to where we were. Or anytime we want to go into the future, we use this flash forward sound effect. Now, this final sound moves us only in space, not in time. Let's say we're in a scene, we want to find out what's happening at the exact same moment somewhere else. Only moving in space, not in time. We use this meanwhile sound effect. Past. Present. Future. Everyone gets it. And now it is time to reveal the location provided by our own Chef Kevin. And that location is the Wisconsin Dells Water Park. The Wisconsin Dells Water Park. We take you now to the Wisconsin Dells Water Park. Oh, look at this. This is exciting.
Oh my gosh, we made it.
We finally made it. It's just like the postcard, only bigger.
Honey, thank you so much.
Well,
I mean, a childhood dream is being realized. Not just marrying you, but getting to honeymoon here as well.
happy anniversary
Thanks.
of the first date that we had. Because it is our honeymoon.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
Welcome to Wisconsin.
Thank you.
Dells.
Thank you. Further.
Towels?
Sorry?
Would you like some towels?
Oh,
I
for
think
the
she
water.
said towels. Yeah,
She's saying, yeah, because we'll get wet.
I would love some
Oh,
towels.
you'll get wet, all right.
All right, yeah, I'll take a towel.
Yeah, I'll take 2
2.
For
for my head.
Here,
I'd like to lay out on a...
Sure, no, yeah. All right.
is that bad? Did we do
VIP
the wrong thing?
package. 2 towels.
Everything okay over here?
Well, Eleanor, we got somebody who wants 2 towels.
2 towels.
2 towels.
Oh my.
I'm sorry, I don't have to have 2 towels.
Well, no,
I
it's
just-
not, there's no rule against it necessarily. Honestly, we've never really had anybody ask for 2 towels.
In 15 years, I can't recall a time when there was a very obese man.
Well, he needed 2.
He needed 2.
He needed 3 towels.
Hi, can I help you, sir?
Yeah, I want to go on the water stuff.
Welcome.
Thank,
All are welcome.
thank you. So now,
Towel?
is that the biggest towel you have?
Eleanor, is everything going okay up here?
I'm in a world of hurt right now.
What's going on?
This gentleman obviously needs multiple towels.
Towel is
And
not
excuse me, do you work here?
Yeah?
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I've been trying to sunbathe, and this gentleman is straight up blocking my sun.
I don't mean to. It's just,
I thought for a second it was like an eclipse
Ma'am,
in the
we
middle of
welcome
summer.
all. We welcome all here.
This is the Wisconsin Del Water Park. It's
Sir.
not the Emmys. How dare you?
Sir, you can have as many towels as you need.
You know what? We'll wrap you in these towels so
That's
you look
right.
like a burrito, sir.
And here's a free bag of cheese curds.
can I get a burrito too?
Okay.
Give him your lunch, Eleanor.
Yep, not since that day.
That was a heck of a day.
Well, I have to say, I think you ladies handled that beautifully.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Some people
Thank
just have
you.
no attacked.
She was a teenager.
Teens.
May I say more?
Teens are the dredge of the Wisconsin Dells Water Park.
Calm down.
They're like a fly in your breath.
Oh, well, we have 2 teens.
We do have 2 teens.
From separate relationships
That's right.
that we brought into this one because we're on our
correct.
honeymoon.
Yes.
Now.
We're on our honeymoon.
But I gotta say, don't be so hard on him. I mean, you were a teen once, weren't you?
Many moons ago.
Eleanor,
Yeah, Mom?
time for your first day of middle school.
Well, I've got my books all tied up in my book strap.
You look adorable, honey.
It's a pinafore.
Now remember what we told you about eating watermelon seeds
Yeah.
during lunch today.
Don't eat a watermelon seed or else you'll be pregnant with a baby.
Amen.
Darling, may I speak to Eleanor for a moment?
Hello, Papa.
Eleanor, darling, I want you to know, eat as many watermelon seeds as you like. Step on every crack you see. Be you, darling, be you. Throw those books down the sewer. I want you to thrive and grow and create. I want you to be the artist that I know is inside you.
Oh, Papa, I love you.
It's nice to meet you.
What?
Well, I would just like to say you look amazing.
You do.
For having been born in clearly the 1800s.
No, it was the early 19s.
Oh, wow. I mean, you're
Still, I mean,
vibrant.
Thank you. It's the cheese.
And this Wisconsin air.
Air is
It's
so
the
clean.
air.
Well, I just want to go ahead and forfeit my second towel.
Oh, honey.
Seriously,
But is
after
there-
all these stories, I mean, what if a gentleman that they've mentioned that's a bit on the larger side comes and I've taken the
Do you
last
have
of
other
the
morbidly obese
No,
customers
that
on
was
the way?
just that
Just the
one.
one.
Well, I mean,
Strangely enough, everyone's real skinny here
does
in
it
Wisconsin.
does it cost extra? Because I'd love for my wife to have the
You know
second
what?
towel.
We'll consider it a honeymoon special.
Thank you.
It's awfully romantic that you
Thank
want to
you.
get her a second towel.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Are you all right?
She just went through a terrible breakup with her boyfriend.
Love is so precious. You need to hold on to it with everything you get. Both of yous.
Gosh, and you're so torn up. I'd love to know what happened.
I'm out of here.
Gregor,
Yeah, I'm out.
you can't leave me.
Gregor Gongor.
I'm out.
Wait, just let me finish folding these towels for
I don't
work
want
and then we can
folding
talk
towels
about
is all you do, woman.
What? If
All
we-
you do is fold towels and
we
make
require
dinners,
a lot of
take
time.
care of me, pay the bills, wash my car. Sometimes I want a woman to be lazy.
You'd like me to stop doing things for you?
Yeah, how about it? Except no, because now it's too late.
Gregor, you didn't even give me a chance to...
All right, you got one chance. Hit it.
Fine. I have one chance to not do something for you in order to make you happy.
You got 40 seconds.
Fine. Your hair's on fire and I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna hand you one of these towels. I'm not gonna put it out in any manner.
Ah! Oh, God! How could you do this to me? My beautiful locks!
Oh, my God.
You may remember Gregor from the 80s metal band, hair punk.
Hair. I'm sorry.
Oh, hair
Was
punk.
the band's name? The name of the band was
Hair punk.
Hair Punk,
So you just,
but it was a metal band.
So you just let him. You just let him burn.
You let his
up.
head. His
Yep,
head
she
burn.
set his hair on fire and she let it burn.
Oh, you set the fire.
Oh, you straight up Michael Jackson him.
Yes, I did. I did. I set his hair on fire and then I let him walk out of my life. I let him stop, drop, and roll right out the door.
Would you excuse me for just one moment? I just want to have a conversation with my wife.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Sure.
That was disturbing information.
Yeah, it was very scary. I mean, I feel like our trip's a little dampened. We're at the Dells to get it
Yes. Exactly.
I made a funny.
Yeah.
But I know I am a little concerned.
It was a chilling tale.
Yeah.
I mean, should we get out of here? I mean, I know you've always wanted to come here, but I'm a little worried about these people.
Well, what if we try the Wisconsin Wells?
The Wisconsin Wells.
It's the cheaper park across the street.
And
It's kind of like a California adventure
Yeah.
to Disneyland.
It's still a water park, only they lower you into a well.
Into a well.
You can splash around in there.
You could, yep.
I don't know if anybody's going to show up at the Wisconsin Wells today.
It has been so long since we've had even one guest.
I just fear that if we don't get somebody here today, we're going to have to close up all the wells.
And when you close the wells and the wells run dry, then that is when you go in all your wishes can close the wells.
Hi there. Hi.
Welcome to the Wisconsin Wells.
We didn't mean to interrupt your beautiful song.
Oh, it was wonderful.
You heard
thank
that?
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we were just at the Dells, and needless to say, God,
Spitting on the ground.
he just polished his shoes. That was very rude.
I apologize.
Just do the old on the back of my pant leg. There we go.
Like the day we met.
Yes,
The old
remember?
back. Oh,
Remember the old
sweetheart.
back of the pant leg on the day that we met?
Oh God, and it was so.
Hold the elevator.
Oh, gosh, that was close right on my hand.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Come
Oh,
on.
here comes someone else.
Hey, hold the elevator.
Ow, jeez.
Oh, are you all right, miss?
Yeah, I don't know. These elevator doors are very strong.
Oh,
It
you're-
usually works like a charm.
I'm sorry. You're bleeding on the toes of my shoes.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. That
all
door
right.
just really got me.
I'll just use the old back of the pant leg trick.
And from that day on, I knew he was resourceful.
Yeah.
And kind, and he didn't care.
That was so romantic.
Where are
Where are
you
you
from?
guys from?
Well, I was born in Italy, and then I into Sweden.
Italy. I would not have guessed Italy.
But my grandparents are German and a little Russian, probably.
So you're a bit of a mutt.
I'm from Macedonia. And then I went around a little bit down low to the Greek Isles.
Yes.
A little bit
And
down low to
now
the Greek Isles.
I lived for about 10 years in Ireland.
I know. Oh, okay, because I was going to say I pegged that song as like
Yeah.
an Irish jig.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
glad.
an Irish,
Sounded like an old-
Swedish,
Grecian urn.
Russian tune.
Can I just excuse us? I just want to talk to my
Would you?
husband. Just
Sorry.
a quick moment.
Thank you very much.
Honey, I don't know that this was a good decision.
These people
either.
seem insane.
Very insane. Very. I need to know. Not necessarily. I don't mind diversity.
Yeah.
I'm very open-minded, but
Right.
they just encompass everything, and it
Yeah.
makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a little, and also, how much fun is it just to be dunked in a well?
True
Yeah.
dat.
All right.
Do you want to
Well,
go? Should we go back to the Dells?
Let's go back to the Dells.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
see. Maybe there's.
Before you
let's-
go,
Oh, we
no,
have.
arrivederci.
Sorry.
Wait a minute. We might want to
Sláinte.
recommend these.
Nastrovia.
So it's-
Ciao.
Again. Hi, welcome back.
Oh,
You went to the
well,
wells,
it's like-
didn't you?
It's right. I didn't realize it was such a short trip. We
we must
turned
have
around.
went around the back way. I
Just turn
think.
your circle around.
Yeah, hi there.
We're happy you're back.
You've got the dazed look of people who've been to the wells.
That's right. We'd love to put you in a pillowcase and shove you down one of the slides.
Okay, can you excuse us for just one moment?
We'll fold pillowcase.
You heard that, right?
Yeah, I did.
Put us in a pillowcase and shove us down one of the slides.
Like animals.
I can't believe no one's at the Wisconsin Hells today.
I know. Sucks so bad.
I'm so bored. I've been ripping out my own eyelashes. Nothing to do.
Where the hell's Gregor? He was supposed to be here for band practice 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, come on, asshole.
Hey guys, bad news.
What?
Everyone that was supposed to come to the Wisconsin Hells,
Yeah.
their family prayed for him too hard, and then
Oh, here we go
spent
again.
a bunch of money. They got bought out of the Hells.
They got him
Son
out
of a
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah.
Wow, the Hells are gonna go down. Good night, Hells. Here you go. Going down, Hells. Don't you know?
Hi.
Hi, we're back. So, is there anything else you can recommend in the area? I'm not really feeling watery anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I'll save you some time now that you've been to the wells and the hells. You don't want to go to the bells, and you sure as heck don't want to go to the shells.
And by the
what
look
about-
of your beautiful hair, you definitely don't want to go to the gels.
Well, you know what, honey?
Wisconsin
back,
gels.
Back at the hotel. I got it.
We got it.
Back at the
We're still
hotel,
in Wisconsin.
I did pick up a pamphlet for the Wisconsin smells.
Welcome to the Wisconsin Smells.
My name is Patrice. Would you like a towel?
Yeah, I'd like to wrap it around my entire head because this place stinks.
Yes.
Well, the towels smell worse.
What's the point of this place?
It's, Yellowstone, the geyser thing? It's like that, but the smell is fartalish.
Excuse me, you're all out of the complimentary bean burritos?
Oh, I'm so
Trying to get
sorry.
my smell on.
Sorry about that.
You can go roll around for a while in the poop pit.
Hey, how much are these?
Sweet.
How much are these durians on a stick?
10 cents a piece.
That is, I'll take them all.
I'm just, honey, questioning Wisconsin completely as a state now.
I just really wanted to see the statue of Fonzie. That's all I wanted to see.
Well, yeah, I just want you to know wherever I go with you, it's still a wonderful time.
Right.
And maybe we don't need a park. Maybe we don't need someone dictating thematically what our experience should be.
Oh, well, I do. I mean, I grew up with a very domineering older sister who told me exactly what my life was going to be, including marrying you.
Hey! You're gonna be a miserable student. Kindergarten through 8th grade. B, high school's gonna be a nightmare. You're not gonna go through puberty till you're 18, never gonna get into college, and the first woman you meet is basically gonna rip your balls off your body for every day for the rest of your life. Boom!
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
I'm so glad she died before we got married.
Oh, what a relief that was. It was such a relief. I remember seeing the light go out of her eyes and thinking, thank God that's over. Oh, you're still here.
Oh, sorry.
I'm so sorry. We were just having a family meeting.
Speaking of family, what about your teenage children? How are they faring with this mixed family?
It's kind of like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Ever seen it?
Minus like 3 on each
yeah.
side. Like,
So there's just the 4 of you.
right. And we don't have a maid. Oh, I wish we had an
I
Alice.
wish we had a live-in maid.
That'd
Alice.
be really nice.
And I wish we had a dog for a very short period of time.
Very
and then
short.
we didn't anymore, and we never talked about
Never
it.
what if
explained
they
it.
could
And a
have
flop-haired cousin.
Yeah, and maybe
that's later.
a possessed necklace in Hawaii.
Oh, look out for the tarantula.
Hey,
What
why
a great
didn't-
show.
Why didn't we go to Hawaii?
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
We should have, right?
I mean, yeah, but the expense, the cost, and I was always told the Wisconsin Dells were the Hawaii of the Midwest.
Yeah. Turns out they're not.
They are not at all. Listen, ladies, I think we're going to go. This is just not worth our time anymore, but I think you should really think about your business model here. I mean, I hate to think about where you could be in 20 years if you keep up things like this.
Hi, welcome to Wisconsin Dells.
I'm 120 years old.
We're just shouting it into the wind at this point, aren't we?
Maybe we should just put these towels around ourselves and go into a sarcophagus.
Maybe we should just take one last slide down the old pillowcase slide.
Excuse me. Ladies, I don't know if you recognize me, but I was here about, 22 years ago now, and, well, you probably don't recognize me because I was about 300 pounds heavier than I am now.
Oh my God, look at this man and
You're the
beautiful.
foretell. You're Mr. Foretell.
Your suit is impeccable.
Thank you very much. I had it made in Italy.
What?
Once I could-
Italy?
Once I could
What?
finally travel, I saw the world, and really it all started with you ladies. Being the size I was, no one ever took pity on me or gave me any things that could help my experience moving through that nightmarish world. And when I got those 4 towels from you, well, I don't know, it just changed my whole life around. I got married. I became Mr. Universe 3 years in a row.
I thought you looked familiar. He's the one I've got on the fridge.
You know why this is? It's because you shoot away that teen that was being so mean.
That's
Teens
right.
are the worst.
That's right.
Darling, are these the women?
Yes, they are.
Oh
This
my
is-
God, you're gorgeous.
Yes.
Thank you. You probably don't remember me, but I was that snotty teen. I was sunbathing and I yelled at my now husband that he was blocking my sun.
And look at you. Now you're supermodel Helene Tomlinson.
That's right, it's me, Helene Tomlinson.
Well, you probably always were Helene Tomlinson, but
Well,
now
sure.
you're a supermodel.
Supermodel.
Yeah,
I used to be Helen Tomlinson, but I made
I
it
get
sound
it,
more
Helene.
fancy.
Helene.
Sure.
See,
Well, isn't this just the crux of the biscuit? Look at that.
Yep.
Full circle.
Looks like you did some good with your life here spent at the Wisconsin Dells after all.
Well,
I can die happy knowing you two found love.
Darling,
well, I hope you're.
Tell them the news.
I hope your deathbed doesn't come too soon because Helene and I, we have a very special gift for you. We think this place is so special.
Yeah, it's so
and
special.
we've come into a lot of money
We're
recently.
rich. We're very rich.
Very, very rich.
Yes.
And we want to open the first Wisconsin Dells in Minnesota.
That's right.
The Minnesota, Wisconsin.
We want to franchise the Wisconsin Dells, starting with Minnesota.
Wow.
And not only that, but we want you guys to be the face of every franchise.
Yes.
We want you to write the model for the business. We want you to train our employees. And most importantly, we want to honor you with this franchise and every franchise to come.
And since it's the future, we'd like to clone you so that you will be at every one of the franchises.
Eleanor, you always wanted to be cloned so you could have a sibling.
Yes, that's right. I always wanted another one of me who knew what I knew and saw what I saw. We accept your generous offer.
Oh, this
Boy,
is wonderful.
howdy.
We were about one step from laying ourselves down a watery path to destruction.
Well, I want to introduce you to the mascots that are going to be also the little puppets we want to have walking around the Wisconsin Dells in Minnesota.
That's right.
This is Mr. Whoever, and this is Mrs. Someone.
Well, those are the cutest little mice I've ever seen.
right.
I love that they're married.
One's wearing a suit and one's wearing a little wedding dress. And I don't-
me, Mr. Whoever.
Hi there.
That's my wife.
Hi there. I'm Mrs. What?
Well, you two are just the cutest little, I don't know, so-and-sos I ever did see.
Go get your towel puppet. Go get your towel puppet.
I don't like to brag.
Oh, puppet.
Wait a second, towel puppet.
I make towel puppets with the extra towels that we have lying around, and this one's called Mr. Towley.
Really?
And I'm not very creative, but I have a finger.
But
And my finger talks. Hi, I'm index finger.
Hi, I'm Mr. Towley.
I just want to compliment us all on our brilliant abilities to name our puppets and our
Absolutely.
mascots.
They're great names.
Really
All
are.
of them.
not to mention the great name of the Wisconsin Dells of Minnesota.
Minnesota. Oh, ladies. Well, we're going to go around to the Wisconsin Hells and the Wisconsin Smells.
We're
and
buying them, too.
We're buying them all out, frankly.
Well, don't go to the wells. They dried up years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, those Swedish, Russian, Macedonian singing
Grecian.
sisters. No one knows what happened to them. Rumor has it they fell down the wells.
Really?
I see a fingernail. Someone's been down here before us.
Oh no! What if there's a spirit down here, like the girl from The Ring?
I don't want the girl from the ring. She's
I wanted
scared.
even less than that.
Damn it! How did we end up down here?
We should have chucked ourselves down the same well, so we could have helped each other out.
Or
Unfortunately,
eaten each other.
that would have been lovely.
I'd like to dine upon your tasty little finger, Kalinita.
Aw, you're so sweet. Wait, I hear someone coming.
Hey, somebody down there?
See,
Yes,
What?
see,
he's
What are you saying?
see, S-I,
he's
see.
H-E-E-S. It's a mix between Swedish and Russian.
For what?
Spanakopita, send down the thing.
Send down the... forget it.
Oh,
Oh,
Well, they're probably lost for all time.
yeah, they probably are.
well, we're here.
Yep.
Well, I hope that when we send you the plane tickets and put you up in the complimentary hotel, that you'll make an appearance at our grand opening.
Yeah, after a brief stop off at the lab to be cloned.
I've never been on a plane before.
The answer is yes.
I just wonder what Minnesota's gonna be like. It's a whole different place than Wisconsin.
Have you ever seen the HBO show Westworld?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're imagining.
Before we go, could you explain those two graves over there?
Those two well-kept graves?
Yes, people that died apparently 20 years ago.
No, you want to explain those?
Well, sure. Near as I remember, it was a sweet, nice couple who were here on their honeymoon. And they kept going all around the area to all the different parks. They went to the wells, the hells, the smells,
The bells.
probably the yells, although no one likes it there. And then when they came back, I set their hair on fire and we chucked them in a couple of crates.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
ever since she set their hair on fire and refused to put them out, they burned to their own melty deaths.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're just gonna keep that story from the publicist.
Yes, exactly. We'll move the headstones, but we won't move the bodies.
No, don't. And let's build a house right on top of them.
Sounds like a
Absolutely.
plan.
And it all happened in a place called Spontaneanation. That's it. And where would you like to tell people to find you? What do you want to promote?
Oh my goodness, I'm on the twits at Nancy Hayden _ and underscore after the name. I'd say the next thing is we have a Mama's Boy show next week.
Next week.
The day after Jaime Moyer's birthday.
Well, now, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jaime Moyer. Happy birthday to you. Now, remember, people won't be hearing this until January 15th. So happy belated birthday.
Probably
Thank
missed
you.
our show.
And we'll all be in San Francisco at that time.
That's right. Maybe we've just been in San Francisco.
We are either just about to be.
Hope
or
you
have
enjoyed all of our
just
shows.
been.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will cherish those birthday greetings for eternity.
But do you guys have regular? Do you have a
it's a
when is Mama's Boy a
general
regular
monthly.
thing?
Monthly. Yep,
Yeah.
monthly at the Second City Hollywood.
So forget that thing I said about next week. Come once a month. You'll see us there on Tuesday nights once a month.
There you go. Tuesday nights, once a month. The Mama's Boy, Second City Hollywood. Jamie, where can people find you online?
JAI like igloo, M like Mary E _ Moyer at the Twitter, Jam Detroit on Insta, and I think don't bother looking for me on Facebook.
I'll hold down the Facebook front.
That's right.
I'll hold down the Facebook
Everything's covered.
Yeah.
Everything's covered.
She's got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eban Schletter. He is Eban Schletter on all the things. Go to ebanschletter.com and seek out Eban Schletter's non-spontaneation work because it is wonderful and wise and wonderful. It's wonderful because Eban Schletter is only the best. How do you spell Eban Schletter? Why, it's simple. Even a dumb child can do it. It goes like this. EBANSCHLETTER. That's right. Good work, Mr. Whoever. As for me, you can find me, PF Tompkins, on all the platforms. Go to paulftompkins.com/live to find out where I'm going to be. Maybe I'll be in a town near you or in your actual town. Thank you to Earwolf for hosting the podcast. Thank you to Engineer Ryan for engineering the show all the way to the end, which this is. Goodbye forever. Until next week, this is Paul F. Tompkins saying, Semper in Presenti. Breaking into comedy. It's messy, it's hard, it's intense. It's the subject of the HBO comedy series Crashing, starring Pete Holmes and executive produced by Judd Apatow. Crashing shows a realistic and honest depiction of starting out a comedy career in New York City. Season 2 of Crashing premieres January 14th at 10:30 p.m. All of Season 1 is available to stream on HBO. Get into it.
Hey there, folks. Do you like comedians from SNL, UCB, The Onion, and The Tonight Show? Are you curious about how germs control your brain or how human history is a big series of pranks? Well, hear that and more on the Cracked Podcast. That's right, Cracked.com is also a podcast hosted by me, Alex Schmidt, with guests who are comedians, novelists, scientists, live UCB audiences, and more. Every week we explore why life is fundamentally more interesting than you think it is, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. Search the Cracked Podcast on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to get free, awesome fun stuff that you'll like.
This has been an Earwolf production. Executive producers Scott Ackerman, Chris Bannon, Colin Anderson, and Paul F. Tompkins. For more media and content, go to earwolf.com.